How uneasy, uncertain, and uninformed did you feel after getting this extreme alert earlier today?
Late this afternoon, North Dakota's emergency services issued an apology to North Dakota residents for the mass confusion the alerts created.
Authorities sent out for the first time a blue alert surrounding a man who is on the run and accused of trying to run down a police officer in Bismarck, and they did it just before noon.
Valley News Team's Christine Stanwood joins us live in the studio with more. What led to this alert and who's responsible? Christine?
Mike, Andrea, Cecily Fong, the public information officer with North Dakota's Emergency Services, tells us the failure occurred in the lack of information. Here's another look at what many of us saw today. It says extreme alert, blue alert, see local broadcast media. It was vague with not much info, leaving many in their area startled and concerned. This especially after Hawaii made national headlines for issuing a wrong alert about a non-existent missile attack. But shortly after that first statewide alert, another was sent out. This one reading blue alert, threat to Bismarck officers, suspect at large. More information from Bismarck police reveals a man tried to run over an officer that was on a welfare check. We received a number of calls and Facebook messages asking what a blue alert is. Some even saw it as they drove on northbound along I-29. It's basically an alert for law enforcement about a dangerous individual. Officials say the alert went out the same way an Amber Alert would. Fong says Bismarck Police, the North Dakota BCI, North Dakota Highway Patrol, along with the Emergency Services Department, all played a hand in the alert going out. The blue alert went out statewide because since the suspect was in a car. Now, law enforcement believes he had the ability to flee outside of the Bismarck-Mandan area.
From what we've learned today and how the process played out, there are some improvements that we need to put in place. And some of that is better coordination between law enforcement and Division of Emergency Services to make sure that we're putting the message out clearly.
Cecily Fong also adds all organizations involved in issuing the alert will be meeting tomorrow. Mike?
Thanks, Christine. The blue alerts were issued because authorities were trying to find this man, 22-year-old Ulises Villalobos. He took off, as we mentioned, in a vehicle after police say he attempted to run over a Bismarck police officer. That officer did shoot at his vehicle. And while that vehicle was recovered, Villalobos is still on the run, believed now to be in a white 2002 Subaru Outback with North Dakota license plate 476JY. Authorities say he may be traveling east. Police were conducting a search warrant at the apartment complex in Bismarck when the incident started. They aren't saying if that warrant was for him.
It's too bad things like that have to happen, I guess, because, you know, Bismarck is a nice, peaceful city, but it's growing up, I guess.
Police do not know if Villalobos has a weapon. If you see him, do not approach him. Just simply contact your local law enforcement.
Breaking news tonight, Fargo police have released the name of a man involved in a fatal crash in North Fargo. He's identified as 22-year-old Zachary Kaufman from Castleton. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The crash happened around 7 yesterday morning at County Road 20 and 25th Street North near Hector International Airport. Investigators say Kaufman's car was traveling east when it crossed the center line, crashing head-on into a pickup. The driver of the pickup was taken to the hospital for treatment. That crash is still under investigation.
Another simply nice day. Great to see melting on the streets, sidewalks, and driveways. Let's find out from Hutch about tonight's weather.
Well, tonight the clouds continue across the valley, and that's keeping us from getting too cold too quickly. And the weather fairly quiet, but we maintain a south wind at around 5 to 15 miles per hour. Fair amount of cloudiness is expected to continue overnight, and a few blips on the radar in southern Canada could mean a sprinkle or two for some of our areas as we go towards morning. More on that later, but for this evening, steady to slowly falling temperatures with that south wind persistent at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Watch for slippery spots on your commute tonight and first thing in the morning, and we'll talk about just how warm we go on a fabulous Friday here in just a few moments.
We'll take those temps during the evening, let alone highs for the day. That's
anytime,
great.
Yes.
Make sure you have the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app so you can keep up with the weather anytime, anywhere. You'll get the latest forecasts and conditions so you can plan your day. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store. Download it for free.
A North Dakota mother says her children's school bus driver consistently uses a cell phone while driving.
After informing the school more than a year ago and seeing no results, she contacted our whistleblower hotline. But as Rose Itzkovitz reports, many other parents argue against that claim.
A mother with 2 children, both in the Fort Ransom and Lisbon school districts, says she's sick of reports from her kids saying the bus driver uses her cell phone while taking them to and from school.
My concern for my kids is the same concern I have for every other child on that bus.
Her son took this picture more than a year ago. She emailed the elementary school principal in March of 2017. He took this second one a year later.
In the picture, it looks as she's replying to a text message. I mean, reading glasses are on, she's looking at the phone. It shouldn't even be anywhere in her possession while she's on the bus.
According to DMV.org, North Dakota law enforcement can pull you over just for talking or texting on your phone, whether driving a big bus of children or not. Superintendent Dr. Stephen Johnson says he's only heard about the complaint once last year.
I have never seen the picture.
The mother showed me an email that she sent to the principal of the elementary school with the picture in it.
Okay. Yeah, and I would have no knowledge of that. I've never seen that.
She never sent it to you?
No.
So I showed him the email and both pictures.
Like I said, I have not seen either one of those.
Still, he says, the mother is the only one who brought this to his attention.
It's not fair for somebody to simply lose their job over one person's complaint.
He also says it's extremely difficult to find another bus driver in the area with all the proper qualifications.
Parents will have to find their own way into school.
But with all due respect, but shouldn't that be your job to find another bus driver?
Yeah.
So,
But if they're not there, they're not there.
Meanwhile, 3 unidentified people claiming to be parents tell me they have no complaints against the same bus driver. A 4th parent did say even if the driver was on her cell phone, she may not have had much choice in the matter, as the bus drivers have no dispatch radio.
These other parents need to say something, because if something happens, are you going to feel bad that you didn't say anything? You knew, but you didn't say anything?
That was Rose Itzkovitz reporting. The superintendent says the bus driver did not want to comment on the matter. For more on this story, head to our website at valleynewslive.com and click on this story. As we mentioned, that story came to us through our whistleblower hotline. If you need help with a serious issue in your community, call 701-237-6576. Leave your tip. We'll do our best to get to the bottom of it.
The North Dakota Highway Patrol is investigating after 2 women were killed in a head-on crash in Grand Forks County this morning. Troopers say it happened just before 11 a.m. on Highway 15, about 12 miles west of Thompson. 2 vehicles were going around a curve in the road when a driver crossed the center line and the vehicles hit head-on. Authorities are not releasing the names of the 2 women killed at this time, but say they were 59 and 97 years old. The 97-year-old was pronounced dead at the scene. The other woman died at an area hospital. Both drivers were also hurt in the crash.
We know the name of a 19-year-old woman who died in an apartment fire in Alexandria, Minnesota earlier this week. Shandon Goodbird of Alexandria was found after fire crews responded to that fire Monday morning. While other residents were able to escape, authorities were unable to find Goodbird. Preliminary autopsy results showed signs of smoke inhalation and carbon monoxide poisoning. The cause of that fire is still under investigation.
A man who overdosed was found in a snowbank wearing only his shorts this morning in West Fargo. It happened on the 1000 block of Cheyenne Street around 9:30. Officers on the scene say the man was only outside for a couple minutes and he did not suffer from hypothermia.
Not quite the 2-minute warning, but we're getting close. Later on Valley News Live at 6, preparation wrapping up for Super Bowl events in Minneapolis.
Up next, a joyous occasion gives way to some anger for a local mom. What the local newspaper did that frustrated her.